Well, hello, welcome back to my channel. You're watching What Helen Reads and I'm Helen, and today you're going to be helping me pick my TBR for February. The eagle-eyed amongst you may have noticed that I've actually taken some time to sort out my bookshelves. They're in a bit of a mess, lots of different things on the shelves, and I wasn't 100% happy with how they looked. But over the last weekend I took some time to do a bit of a clear and declutter, got rid of some things, moved some things around, and hopefully the background is looking a little bit better. I've also got some new books on order because of Christmas and a recent birthday. I had lots of vouchers to spend, and so I've treated myself to quite a number of books. So in the next couple of weeks I'll also be sharing a book haul with you, and you'll see these shelves behind me getting a little bit fuller as well. So I absolutely loved filming my January TBR video last month, and so I'm really excited to pick my books for February. I've got a couple of tools that can help me. You'll remember this jar from last month. So this is my TBR jar from everybody who has recommended a book to me, either in a comment on my YouTube channel, via Instagram, or using the book form that I've got. It'll be in the description down below. So if you have a book that you want to recommend to me, if I've not read it before, I'll take a look at it. If it's of interest, I'll put it into my TBR list, and I'll also put it in the jar here. So every month I'm going to be selecting one of these from your recommendations to read the following month. I then have a smaller jar here, a little TBR jar, a little smaller jar that I received from Jen from the Book Refuge in one of my quarterly book boxes that I received just before Christmas. And what I've done for this jar is I've taken a look at some of my favourite booktubers, checked out their top romances for 2023, and the ones that I either hadn't read before but was really intrigued to read myself. I've also put those on a bit of paper and pop them in here as well, so we'll get one a month from that jar. And then of course I have two sets of TBR cards as well, which will be book prompts. Then after that I'm just going to tell you the arcs that I've got planned to read and any new releases that I'm looking forward to in February, and we'll definitely be picking them up as soon as they are released. Okay, so let's get stuck in with this jar. I'm going to pick from your viewer recommendations, and so I'm just going to give this a really good shake, and I'm going to tip a few out, and I'm going to pick that one there and put all of these back. And so I have picked a green star for this month. So let's see what we've got on this. Okay, so I have actually picked out Ruthless Empire by Rina Kent. And it is a dark enemies to lovers romance, and this one was recommended by @ILoveKpop39. So you can just see on there, hopefully if I hold it close it will focus in. I don't think it's going to focus in because it will be focused on my face, but I will put in a photo of it so you can see what I picked there. So this one is actually book 6 of 7 of Rina Kent's Royal Elite series. It's a dark enemies to lovers romance, it says. I haven't read anything else in this series, so hopefully I would be able to read it on its own. I don't have to read the others. The blue on this one says, she's off limits, he has none. There's a girl, beautiful, popular, fake, and my obsession, my fall, probably my damnation. Did that stop me? Do I care? No and no. There's a line between right and wrong, moral and immoral, and then there's her. I cross every limit with blood-coated fingers. She says she hates me. I say I hate her too as I trap her, own her, make her all mine. Okay, next then I'm going to pick something from this jar here. So I'm just going to take off the lid. It's quite a small jar, so it's hard to pick them out. So I'm just going to tip them out, and I'm going to pick a yellow star this time. These are actually surprisingly hard to unwrap. Here we go. Ooh, and now I've torn it as well. Excellent. Right, so what I've picked here is The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer, and that was in that Tall Book Girls top 10 of 2023. So again, I'll show you that, but I don't think it's going to focus in very well. So I'll just take a picture of that and put it up here, and then you can see that one as well. So it's The Fake Out by Stephanie Archer, and it says it's a fake dating hockey romance, and it's book 2 in the Vancouver Storm series. I haven't read book 1 in this one either, but hopefully it can be read as a standalone. Yeah, it does say at the bottom it's part of the series but can be read as a standalone. Now, I don't normally read books out of order, so this is 2 books in a row now where they're out of order, but I'm willing to give them a shot as I've been recommended. So the blurb on this one said, the best way to get back at my horrible ex, fake date Rory Miller, my ex's rival, the top scorer in pro hockey and the arrogant, flirtatious hockey player I tutored in high school. Faking it is fun and addictive though, and beneath the bad boy swagger, Rory's sweet, funny and protective. He teaches me to skate and spends way too much money on me. He sleeps in my bed and convinces me to break my just one time hookup rule. He kisses me like it's real. And now I wonder if Rory was ever faking it to begin with. It says the tropes in this one are fake dating, ex's rival, pro hockey, golden retriever hero, boy obsessed and forced proximity. So like I said, I really was taken with the way that Talbot Gold described this book, and I was intrigued enough to put it into the jar. So next up I've got this set of cards, which are very much prompt cards, so I'm just going to give them a bit of a shuffle. Last month I wasn't very good at the shuffling process, but I'm just going to select this card here. So this one says, choose a book which has a person's name in the title. So I will just turn to my bookshelf to see if there's any books on my bookshelf that I've bought and haven't read and have got someone's name on them. No, I can confirm there is nothing on my bookshelf that I haven't read with a person's name on. So what I'm going to do is go to my wish list on Amazon and just see if there's anything on there. Right, so I am going to go for Mercy by Debra Anastasia. I believe it is a dark romance. Okay, so Mercy by Debra Anastasia is book 1 in the Mercy series. The blurb on this one says, he taught me to kill. Murder is in my blood now. It runs through my veins, and though I hide the monster I see in the mirror with ink, it doesn't keep him from coming out. My street name is Mercy, but I never show any except for her. I watch Becca, though she doesn't know. She saved me a long time ago, the day my father killed my mother. Her bravery turned her into a target. My father holds a grudge and knife with the same proficiency, and Becca is the focus of his hatred, and I'm the only monster who can save her. So this is one I've had my eye on for a while, especially when I did the Stalker romance recommendation video. It was one of the ones that I picked out as something I wanted to read in the future because it is a Stalker romance. So I'm glad that I picked that prompt card, and that gave me the opportunity to move this up the priority order and give this a read next month. So then I have a second set of cards. They kind of look like this, and they've all got a different prompt on them. So I am just going to give these a quick shuffle as well, and then pick one from the middle. I'll pick this one here, and it says read a book with purple on the cover. So again, I'm going to go to my Amazon list and just see if I can find anything that looks purple. Okay, I was scrolling through for a while there. I didn't have too many, I had a few books that were sort of pinky bluey, but not strictly purple. But I think I am going to go for this one, which is Ruby Dixon, part of the Ice Planet Barbarian series. It's book 4. I've read books 1, 2 and 3, and so this was kind of like next on the list as I was getting to it in the series, and this is called Barbarian Mine. So I'm going to add that to the list. I think that'll be a good one to have here on my TBR. One, because it's actually quite a short read, it's less than 200 pages, but also it'll be a nice palette cleanser between some of the darker romances that I'm going to be reading as well. Okay, so that's all of my prompts from my jars and my cards. I do have one arc that I'm expecting that I'll get in early February to read, and that is Thorns of Malice by Maggie, and it's book 2 in the Wilted Kingdom duet. So the first book is due out on the 1st of February, but I've actually got an arc for that now, and I'm currently reading that one. It's called Seeds of Malice. And then a couple of weeks after that, on the 15th of February, Maggie Cole is bringing out the second in the duet. And I'm hoping that I'm going to love these, because this time last year she actually brought out another duet, The Auction and the Vow, and I really love that duet, particularly book 1 in that duet. And so I'm hoping that this is, I'm going to like this just as much. It's actually a dark college billionaire romance. It's kind of a bully romance as well. So Seeds of Malice says, I'm a pawn in a twisted game I never agreed to partake in. There's no getting out. Dax Carrington decides all the moves. He's always 2 steps ahead of me, an animal disguised in warm privileged snakeskin. He'll sink his teeth into every inch of my soul until he owns all of it, all of me. When I'm at my lowest, he'll blindside me, pulling me back into his arms, continuing to win the match that I don't know how to play and just want to escape. The only problem? In Dax's world, the plot ends once he's the last one standing and there's nothing left but dust, including me. So that's book 1. Now I imagine this is going to end on quite a cliffhanger. So the second book, which like I say, I'm expecting to pick up in February, says, for 10 years she's been under my skin and out of my grasp. The last time I saw her, I decimated her and everything she valued. So that makes it sound like there's going to be a cliffhanger at the end of book 1, and then we're going to have a time jump for 10 years later for the start of book 2. But I'm only guessing there, I don't know for sure, but that's what it sounds like. So not a day passes that I don't crave one more dose of her, and Ivory Ford's everything I remember. Beautiful, graceful, seemingly innocent. I wish that were the case. There's only one reason she's reinserted herself into my life. Revenge. It's nothing new in my world except for one thing. Ivy learned from the best. Me. It's clear there's no longer anything naive about her. She's an uncontrollable stalk of poison spreading all over me. So yeah, so looking forward to that. Another book that's coming out in February, on the 26th of February in fact, is the Nephilim's Fellowship by Eliza Hampstead. I've actually already read a beta copy of this one, but I'm expecting to get kind of another version of it. So after she's done the edits from the beta readers and as it's sort of going to her proofreader, I'm expecting to get another copy of that to do another read through for her, because I'm one of her beta readers, but also support with a bit of proofreading as well. So I'm expecting to get that one back, and we'll be reading that one again in February. And I'm really looking forward to see what changes she makes to this one following the feedback that she's had. It was a really enjoyable read when I read the beta version. And this is actually book 4 and the final book in the War of the Nephilim series that she's been writing. And basically, as we've gone through the series, it's a paranormal romance, so there are kind of Nephilim, witches, vampires, those types of creatures, and they've kind of been competing factions through the other books. They have been romances, so we've seen couples get together, but in this final instalment it's kind of not particularly focused on one particular couple. It is focused on a variety of characters, because they've actually had to come together in order to save the world, and they're having to go into hell to confront some demons, like literally, in order to kind of you know, save the world. And this is really kind of a culmination of all the storylines, plot lines that have been happening in the other 3 books. And so, like I say, it doesn't focus on one particular couple, but it does wrap up the series really well. So like I say, I'm really looking forward to reading a more finished version of that one as well. Then in terms of a couple of other new releases, the first one is actually coming out on the 11th of February, and that's Captivated by Rebecca Gannon. It's actually book 6 of the Carfano crime family, so it's a mafia romance series. I've only ever actually read books 1 to 4. Wild Aces is book 5. I haven't read that yet. That's been on my TBR for a while, and it was on there from last year, and a book that I really wanted to get to before the end of the year, because I knew the next one in the series is going to be out in February. So Wild Ace will by default be on my upcoming TBR. If I read that I might read that in January, or it might have to be pushed into February. And then, like I say, I really want to pick up Captivated, which is book 6 in the series. Now this one at the moment doesn't actually have a blurb or any information. It just says that it's Nico and Cassie's book, and that the official cover and blurb are to come. So I'll be pretty much going into that one blind. But I've really enjoyed the first 4 books in the series. and so I'll definitely be giving this one a go. And then the other new release that's coming out in February is Sweet Severity by Zoe Blake. Now, because it's not coming out to the 28th of February, it may be that I don't actually get to it in February and it'll be one of the very first books that I read in March. But I'll definitely be aiming to pick this up as soon as it comes out, because I really love Zoe Blake's writing. She writes very, very dark, possessive male characters, and this particular book is part of the Ruthless Obsession series, and this will actually be book 7, and it kind of follows a series of Russian mafia heroes, and I've loved all of the books in this series, so we'll definitely be wanting to pick this one up. The blurb on this one said, "Had she crushed into any other man's car, she could have walked away, but she hit mine. Upon seeing the bruises on her wrists, I struggled to contain my rage. Despite her objections, I refused to allow her to leave. Whoever hurt this innocent beauty would pay dearly. As a Russian mafia crime boss who owns Chicago's most elite gambling club, I have very creative and painful methods of extracting revenge. She seems too young and naive to be out on her own in such a dangerous world. Needing a nanny, I decided to claim her for the role. She might resist my severe domineering discipline, but I won't give her a choice in the matter." Sounds about right for Zoe Blake's male characters. "She needs a protector, and I'd be damned if it were anyone but me. Resisting the urge to claim her will test all my restraint. It's a battle I'm bound to lose. With each day, my obsession and jealousy intensify. It's only a matter of time before my control snaps, and I'll make her mine. So yes, I will definitely be picking that one up as soon as it's available, and like I say, if I can get to it right at the end of February, I will. Otherwise, it'll probably be one of the first books that I read in March. There we have it, that's my TBR. So that's 8 books in total. I normally read around 15 for the month, so I still have some wiggle room to pick up books just so that I can mood read, because I'm very much a mood reader, but I will absolutely aim to make sure that I get to all of these in February. So that's all I've got for you today. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content from me, and if you want to tell me what you're planning to read in the month of February, or if we have any books in common, then please pop that down in the comments box below. I'd love to hear from you. As always, if you've got any books that you want to recommend to me, there is a link to a Google form as well. And once you've recommended a book, I will look at those. If I haven't read them before, then I'll add them to the list and they'll be added into my jar here for a chance for me to pick it out next month. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. And it's book 2 in the Vancouver. And it's I've picked out the fake out. The blurb on this one says, "She's off limits, she has none." Oh, that's not what it says. Right, I did this before, so this is the what Ruthless Empire is all about. Nope, it's not going to focus in, is it? I will do a... Last month I... Stupid cough.